Hey guys, today we're talking about what to do when you hate your job but you can't afford to quit. And I was going to talk about it in the whole steps to take thing. And I ran it by my husband, who is kind of like in a similar situation, and he was like, yeah, I don't know about that, we know all of this already, but so we just want to hear like real experiences, people talking about what they're feeling. So I decided, instead of doing like a how-to kind of guide, I'll just talk you through what I have how I've dealt with being in that situation and kind of just surviving through it. So yeah, if you're watching so far already, I'd like you to please subscribe. This is my channel. My name is Fopsy, and I share content about stuff that I wish people would talk more about, and this is one of them. All right, let's get into it. So the first thing that I did, and I think that it's helpful to do, is just thinking about, okay, why exactly do you hate your job, or what is the issue here, right? Like, there are many things that could be going on. You could not like the commute to work. It might be that the work just isn't a great fit for you. The people, as in your co-workers, might not be great. Your supervisor might be annoying, or it could be all of the above, which is, a bit intense. So figuring out exactly what you don't like helps you figure out what you need to change, right? So if it's the kind of job you don't like, then you can try to see if, you can switch roles within the company, because it's just so much easier to switch within than to get out in most cases. You can maximize the opportunities that you have available to you if that's something that you have in your company. Some companies are too small, and you can't move around as much, so figuring out exactly what is the situation helps. If you don't like your co-workers, moving to a different role within the company could also help, because maybe you change your co-workers, but it might be the work environment. If your company is just not great with the policies, then that makes it harder. But figure out exactly what you don't like, and then that will help you to know what you need to do. And in my case, it was that I didn't like the kind of work I was doing, so I moved around a bit. Thankfully, my manager, I always had so many amazing managers. They were very supportive, and I did internal I was reaching out to people internally, people you don't know, just booking coffee chats with them, and everybody was very helpful, sharing their experiences, how they got in. And aside learning from their experiences, which was very helpful, I was also building my network, knowing people at the director level in other departments that knew about what I was interested in and what kind of work I had done, so that if they had roles on their teams, they can pull me in. So those kinds of things I was doing internally to see if there were other opportunities I could explore. And a couple of opportunities came. I moved jobs twice. They were great. One of them was a really good job, but it ended. It was only just a project. And the second one, I just knew it was not a good fit, and I was in it already. It was at that point I was like, you know what, maybe let me go see what else is outside. And yeah, so that was the first thing, just sharing my own bit. So the next thing I talk about will be making a plan. Once I realized that I moved around the company a bit, I had seen what was available, I thought about where I wanted to go in my life, what was not working for me, then I had to decide, do I need new skills for the kind of work I want to do? What is the kind of work I want to do? Does it have is there a job title for it? Can I see what that looks like in other companies? So I started looking for people in the role. I think what I carved for myself was I liked product management, which is the role that I said I enjoyed within my company, and I also liked marketing. Then I found out that product marketing management was a thing, and I was like, oh, okay. So I started looking into those kinds of roles, but then it was crickets for a long time, and that's really hard when you're applying for jobs and nobody's even answering you. But you gotta push yourself. Applying for jobs and job hunting can feel like a marathon, and it is. So it means you have to prepare mentally for the part of rejection and silence. You also have to prepare physically, dust up your interviewing skills, get a second eye to look at your resume. And I want to give a shout out to my people at this point, making the move. They are incredible. They really are made to help African immigrants who are skilled workers that are coming into Canada and having a hard time finding jobs. So they work with you to look through your resume, make referrals. They also organize chats where you talk to people people that have immigrants that have worked in Canada for a while, and you just learn from real people and hear their experiences. And a similar organization that does that is Fresh Start Hub as well. Shout out to their team. They also have a podcast, they have web series, they have job fairs where they bring employers, also just trying to help Black people succeed, mostly immigrant focused as well. And as I'm doing it, I always send all these three people to I send people to all these three people because I have used their services in one way or the other, and I found them to be helpful. They have lots of free offerings, so many of their services are free, but like if you enjoy it and you get a job, it makes sense to like donate something or pay for something, you know. I'm doing It Does mentorship sessions where they match you with a mentor doing something you want to do, and you talk to them. These are like ways you can start to build your network when you're trying to find a job, because to be honest with you, this was something that my husband gave me feedback about when I was sharing this video, when I was talking to him about what I wanted to share in this video. Like, everybody knows apply for jobs, you know, update your LinkedIn, and it can get very frustrating hearing the same advice over and over again. But networking still works. And networking doesn't have to be like, you know, you package yourself and have to like suck up to people. It's like people within your sphere as well, letting them know that you're job hunting. It's like showing up more on LinkedIn. So like not necessarily trying to make fake deep posts on LinkedIn or something, but sharing relevant industry articles, updating your tagline, your header to be like something that is relevant to the industry you want to get into, participating in all these conversations. So I mentioned about 3 different people, like Fresh Start Hub, Making the Move, and I'm Doing It. When they had these gatherings, these job fairs, these sessions on Zoom, which is like one of the blessings of the pandemic, you can show up with your video on and with questions prepared to ask, and then you kind of stand out to the people doing the people that are invited as guests, but also your fellow peers that are there. And you don't know, people are watching, people are always watching. It might not always lead into a job, but like it helps you broaden your network, and by so doing you can like find opportunities, and opportunities can even find you. It's wild, and I know it's not as straightforward as I would like things to be, but when you're job hunting, you just have to remember that like you need to spread your seed everywhere. I don't know if that sounds right, but like just you need to diversify your efforts, and there's really a big emphasis on networking and finding people to carry your matter on their head, and people to tell other people about you. That's like the major key for me, and eventually that was kind of what worked for me, because I met someone who I spoke to, and he just like was very impressed by my skill set and told me when there was a job opening, you know. So things, and even that first one didn't work out because like I still had to go through the whole process and it didn't work out, but then I kept at it again. So just sharing that like it's a real struggle when you are trying hard and nothing seems to be working, but you guys hang in there and find a community of support. And then if you find that you've been doing this for a while by yourself and it's not working, then you can find one of these services and say pay for like a coaching package or something, and get someone to really be invested in you by you showing that you're invested in them as well. I want to talk about another thing, which is that I don't know how people quit their jobs and like without a plan, but money is a big deal, right? And so even when you're frustrated, like you have to think about, how am I going to survive without this job? So saving and preparing, once you start knowing that this job, I'm tired of it, the fit is wrong and all of that, start saving. Because when you have money saved in the bank, you know, you have options. If you were to even call it up and quit one day, it helps to have an emergency fund stashed out, because you have things, you have bills, you have children or a house, or like, you know, yourself, you're gonna have to eat and you don't want to be broke. The best time to look for a job is when you have one, but if there's a time that comes that you have to just quit and leave, start saving. It helps to start saving already. So seek out to build an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months out that allows you to, you know, have options and all of that. Yeah, so that's on the money aspect. One other thing I can tell you is that in terms of trying to change your job and having to stay in a job you hate, it's important to like survive right now. And in terms of surviving right now, I say manage your energy. Do the work you're paid to do from 9 to 5. Do your best. Don't slack off, because if you're slacking off because you hate a job, you're robbing your employer, because they're paying you to be there. So don't slack off during those 9 to 5 hours. It can be really hard when you're over the job, but all the more reason to like put in the energy in the 9 to 5, and then after that you leave. Don't be like, try to put your work during that time frame, so that after your work hours you have time to put in all the energy into applying for jobs, networking, and doing things that give you joy, whether that is like watching Netflix or like doing a side business that can help you find joy in life. Like, it's very important to not like to manage your energy, because what I find is that like 9 to 5 for me at least is like my most productive. They're my most productive hours, because I'm fresh. I just woke up and everything. My brain is active. So I was always feeling like, oh God, these are my best hours I'm giving to this job, and I'm not really feeling it, kind of thing. But it helped to remember that they're paying you, so do the job they're paying you for, and then after that, go seek your joy somewhere else, right? And that can also be another way to think about jobs as a whole. I'm not sure yet if jobs are supposed to fulfill all the things that we want them to do. Like, I don't know if everybody's going to be able to find a job that they love, they enjoy, and that pays them well, right? So it might be a couple different things you do. Maybe one job pays the bills, another thing gives you joy and satisfaction in life. What I'm trying to say is schedule your day in a way that you at least do an activity every day that brings you joy. If not, you can just like find that you're really frustrated with life, depressed, burnt out, and all that bad stuff. So I was gonna say good stuff, also yeah, that's bad. Find time in your day to bring joy into your day, whether it's like exercise, or it's hanging with friends, or it's like watching Netflix, or even scrolling through Instagram. Make the time for it, but like make sure that you're doing your work, and then you prioritize other activities that bring joy later. I'm really a big fan of side gigging, because from doing side gigs, you can find other areas of opportunity. For me, it was from volunteering with my church in digital marketing and like social media marketing, website management, that I honed that skill, and now I do it for small businesses trying to get online with my husband at Image Studio. That was a plug for us, by the way. Check us out at imagestudio.com. So like I excited to enjoy the process of learning about what they're trying to build, and then partnering with them to build a website, teach them some best practices in digital marketing, help them get set up online, and just opening people up to the whole world that is out there on the internet. Another thing I've done rather as a side gig is give boxing. I just enjoyed the process of putting things together, so I was like, why not? If people are going to pay for it, it's something that brings some money but also brings a lot of joy. So find things that bring you extra cash, so that if anything were to happen to your main gig, if you had to call it quits, you can do something on the side that brings you cash but also brings you joy. I'm gonna see if there's anything else I wrote down. This is a very important one. When you're searching for jobs and you're frustrated at work, you still have to be discreet. Not everybody needs to be knowing that you're leaving, because if anything were to happen and you need to fire people, you don't want to be like the person that's going to be fired because you're caught applying for other jobs. I have a coworker I had once that got fired like on the second week of the job because she was applying for other jobs at work. And the wild part was that like this is a much older job. Like we didn't, it wasn't a great job, but it was good. They pay you, and you applied for it and you got it. And it was one of those jobs that it was open tables everywhere. Like it wasn't like you had a cubicle, so people can really see over like what you're doing. And I don't know if that's how they cut out. Maybe they were searching like through your history. I don't know if that's even legal. I don't know how, but they really fired her like 2 weeks into the job because she was applying for other jobs on the job. So be discreet. Know who is like for you. Sometimes they have work besties. Maybe it's okay to tell them, but like maybe not everybody. So still be discreet even when you're leaving, because you're not trying to get fired. Okay. So yeah, to sum this up, I want to say that it's always easy for people to do things like this. After you found a job that you like, then you not come and be like, oh, this is what I did. So I hear you. The struggle is real when you're looking for a job and when you want to find something better. Just remember that there are many ways around this. You can also see if you can negotiate with your managers and your leaders. Would more money make this job more palatable? Would working from home make it more palatable? You can also talk to them, bring these things up, show the good work you've done, and see if you're able to renegotiate your employment terms, if that would help you. For me, working from home made it easier because I couldn't be doing that commute. So if you're able to bring things up that can make it easier for you in the meantime while you search, or that can make it less likely that you'd want to leave, bring these things up and prepare your case in advance. Another thing I want to say is that if you're interviewing for jobs in this pandemic world of Zoom, get used to talking to a camera as if it was a real person. It's a different skill set, but get used to it because it can really help you in the process of searching for a new job. Guys, I really wish you all the best in your hunt for a new job. I want to say don't give up. think through this. What exactly do you hate about your job? And see if you can change that thing within your current job, or isolate it so that you know exactly what to look for in your next job. And also remember that it's hard to balance. Okay, how do I know if my next set of coworkers will be awesome? Maybe the work will be good and the coworkers won't be awesome, I don't know. So just try to find joy where you're at. It might not be as easy as I'm saying it, but still try, because things always seem greener on the other side, but the grass is only greener where you water it. Yeah. And then I also want to say, take care of yourself right now. Find things that give you joy. A job might not be everything to you, but it shouldn't be sucking out all your energy all the time as well. So balance. Tell me what you would add to this. Are you currently job searching? What would you tell someone who is having a hard time at their job, they can't afford to leave? What would you add to this? All right, that's all I got for today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you liked about it, and please share, comment, and interact with me. Thank you. My name is Foxy, and please subscribe to my channel. Bye.